So this is allowing me to go to McDonald's if a McDonald's in Fort Wayne decides to take gold and silver. This bill is going to allow them to do it and me to do it too.
Correct.
Okay.
Another feature that was put into it was what's called digital gold. There's a new industry as part of the electronic payment industry, like PayPal and the companies that have the ATMs, their private ATMs you see in different places.
Right.
That's the electronic payment industry. And Mr. James Turk, I mentioned him, he helped write the second version of the bill. He started a company 7 years ago called goldmoney.com. Now, Mr. Turk was an international banker specializing in gold. He worked for the United Arab Emirates, I believe, for a while, handling their gold reserves. And he came up with a patent and a method. One of the complaints about using coins as tinder was that they were heavy. It was difficult to carry a lot of them.
Okay.
And that was taken care of somewhat back in olden days by certificates. You might have seen silver certificate dollar. It said redeemable in silver, and they used to say redeemable in gold.
And our Federal Reserve notes, our green money that we have, they were actually supposed to be redeemable for gold and silver.
They were not Federal Reserve notes. They were U.S. Treasury notes.
But in the beginning when our money was.
That's what I was saying earlier. The Europeans and other countries came and turned in their Treasury notes and said redeemable gold and silver, and took their gold and silver because the gold and silver is more valuable than the note.
So we don't really know what's in Fort Knox.
It hasn't been looked at since 1971, I believe.
Oh, that's scary.
So Mr. Turk started this company called goldmoney.com.
Okay.
And it is electronic banking of gold. He has a vault space that's shared with Lloyd's of London in England and a vault in Switzerland. You send him your fiat dollars, you buy gold or silver, and they keep it in their vault. And somebody else that is in gold money, say for example there are a lot of mid-sized international companies that are using it for transfer of payment. If you and I are both in it and you and I do business with each other and we agree to deal in gold, there's nothing wrong with that. Two individuals still have the right to create what they call.
Why are you saying though that we need a bill to do this? Why can't we do it?
We can today.
Okay.
We can today, but we want to facilitate it, encode it, because there's no code that protects or specifies the companies that are going to come and exchange it for us, and get all of it coded in law.
So what this does is just give us an organization to allow people that want to deal in gold and silver to do that. Because I've seen some web pages that of people from what we're involved in politics that you put what it's not. Because there seems to be some confusion.
Some people thought we were going back to a gold standard with it. We're not. Dr. Vieira purposely made it, what I said, very benign, very tame, in that there would be very little to argue with it.
You're just trying to get an organization.
We're not asking a whole lot from the government. Now back to what I was talking about, there's one group that we are having a mandate on, and that is tobacco licenses and taxes. The bill asks that the state collect all of its tobacco tax and license revenue in gold and silver. So somebody, for example, Kroger, has an account with the state, and every month they will send them the revenues they collect on the cigarettes and tobacco they sell. Well, instead of sending it via an electronic account in fiat currency, they would open a gold account, gold money account, or there's like 7 of these companies that do that, and transfer gold and silver to the state.
And why are you, what is the purpose of that?
The purpose of that is to jumpstart it, to get gold and silver into the economy.
And you think by making these larger corporations do this, or smaller, I mean, whoever, but based on that, that'll be a good way to start. Now, the second part of the bill is that if you want your income tax return paid to you in gold and silver, you can ask that. That is cool. One of the things is that the state make it available. But you're talking about state. The state, correct. It's the state. We're not with the federal yet. We'll get there. We are not messing with the Federal Reserve. We're not making any changes, asking for any changes to legal tender. You just want the ability for your money to hold its value and be able to use that money. To be able to use something other than Federal Reserve notes. And in an easy way. So you could go to Kroger's and buy your groceries if that's what you want. So your money retains its value. So when you take it out of the bank 2 years later, you can buy the same thing you could have bought, actually more right now. Yes, exactly. The vaults that Mr. Turk realized that since what he's doing is not covered by regulation, he actually has this company in what's called the Channel Islands, and they supposedly have the second most private banking laws in the world. But he knew that to get people to come
and put their money with him, he had to make it a very robust system that they would trust. So what he did is he has, every quarter he has one of the top 5, I believe this is a White and Touche, come in and do spot audits of all the gold and silver. Now when you have an account with him, you will look at the side of your account and he'll say that your gold is part of this bar of serial number. And they have every bar of gold and silver in there serialized, and they know which bar is actually your gold and silver in it. There's no fractional like a current banking system that has fractional reserve in it. It's 100% always there, and they have never failed an audit. At the close of January, there were over $540 million that Mr. Turk had on account.
It's holding for people that have
gold and silver.
Gold and silver.
This is a worldwide enterprise with people all over the world using it.
And you're just trying to bring it to Indiana.
Correct. And we foresee that if we get enough people involved in it, it will be like using your ATM card, your debit card. You go to the grocery, you pull out your gold debit card, and you pay for your groceries in gold on a day that gold is a good price, or a day that gold is down, you pull out your fiat currency card, you know.
Well, you sound like you know a lot about money. If I'm sitting at home watching the show, and I'm thinking, why would I care that my money should be in gold and silver?
Well, like I said earlier, since the Federal Reserve has started managing it, it's lost 95% of the value.
So my money in my pocket's not going to be worth, and you're going to retain
going down. Well, like I said, in November I paid $1,100 for this 1 ounce gold, and now just the other day I checked and it's selling for $1,300. So in a matter of 3 months, where my 401k has dropped in value, I've made up for it.
About 50% too.
Well, no, about 30%.
Is it?
1,100 to 30. Oh, my 401k
yeah.
in 15 months, my 401k has lost 40%. So
yeah, because when I started this, it was like the Dow was at like 1,300. I'm not good, and now it's at 7,000.
Yeah, it's a lot of people anticipate that our currency will totally collapse. No fiat system has ever.
And so that means this is going to be the only thing worth money. Those green, they say like in countries right now, you literally have to take a wheelbarrow full of these green papers we have to buy a gallon of milk.
It happens.